Right then, guys, we are in Saudi Arabia. We've touched down for the big event this weekend, the biggest card of the century. And yes, big news came through today about the Shakur Stevenson fight, obviously, with Floyd Schofield pulling out. Josh Padley, the Englishman, has officially stepped in. And yeah, big news, to be completely honest. Big opportunity for him, biggest opportunity he's going to get of his career. Hopefully, he can take it with two hands and, put on a good, solid performance no matter what. Win or lose, doesn't really matter. He's got a big opportunity, he's got a big payday. Fair play to Josh Padley for getting this opportunity, to be honest with you, and hopefully he's able to do something with it and, give a good account of himself no matter what, to be honest. That's what we're hoping. I feel like that's what he'll mostly be hoping, to be honest with you. It's a difficult ask to beat an elite guy who's got one of the best defenses in boxing in Shakur Stevenson on 72 hours notice. Like, I mean, it's very unlikely it happens, but we're out here supporting him, and yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. He's one of the guys who we've now come out to support. I feel like it makes things even more interesting for the British boxing audience. 100% that Josh Padley's in this fight. I've seen a lot of people crying about the fight being made online, but look, it's 72 hours notice. I think it's good that Shakur's still on this card. I feel like, it makes everything better that Shakur Stevenson is on this card. And I think obviously the British audience is really being targeted. So I think Josh Padley was probably a good solid step in to put in. He's not going to win. I think we know that, but the most important thing is that he can put up a good account of himself. I mean, hopefully he is able to pull off an upset. That'd be absolutely unbelievable if he can, but it's a difficult ask. I feel like he's got to start with Shakur Stevenson should be able to deal with, to be honest with you. Could Shakur Stevenson stop Josh Padley? I mean, most people think that he probably will. And if I'm being real, I don't blame you. I feel like there's a big chance that Shakur does get a stoppage, but I don't think it's going to be early on. I think Paddy's a good, durable guy. He is unbeaten as well, don't forget, though. But obviously, he's fought nowhere near the level of Shakur Stevenson just yet in his career. But hopefully, he is able to give a good account of himself in this fight. I do expect this fight to probably be the first fight on the card now. I doubt they're going to have it high up, to be honest with you, because, the results is probably inevitable. But I think if Padley can put up a good account of himself, it's only going to get him bigger and bigger opportunities. Obviously, he got a big opportunity in his last fight to fight Mark Chamberlain at Wembley. He took that one to hands and he won the fight, upset everyone. But he's up against a different level this time around in Shakur Stevenson. And, you've got to give the guy credit for taking this fight on 72 hours' notice because not many people would. But, biggest opportunity of his career by a country mile. But I think overall for Josh Padley, he's going to have to try and rough up Shakur Stevenson in this fight. That I think is what he probably will have to do in order to try and win it. I feel like overall, if I'm being honest, he's not going to be able to outskill Shakur. Like we know that. I feel like in the clinches, Paddy's going to have to try and get this up close. And I do think Josh Padley is a decent volume fighter as well. We saw it in that Mark Chamberlain fight, especially, and that was what was able to trouble Mark Chamberlain was that volume and that work rate of Josh Padley. So we know he's got that, and they are big things that you need at the top level, and that volume. Even if Padley's punching air a lot of the time, I feel like just from the very start, Padley should just try and go out on his shield. But Padley's not really known for his power. He's got 4 knockouts in 15, but he dropped Mark Chamberlain in his last one, caught him with big shots, and the knockdown happened due to him being able to rough him up quite a bit in the clinch, and then get those uppercuts in quite close up, and yeah, Paddy was able to drop him. So that is positive signs, and that is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need to be strong in this fight. He's gonna have to rough up Shakur Stevenson, be stronger in those clinches, and I feel like Paddy will be. I feel like he'll be able to get the better of Shakur a lot in those clinches. But overall, though, I think Shakur he's gonna look to try and make Paddy look stupid. And if we're being real, that probably is what is going to happen. Shakur's going to make Paddy look a bit stupid in there. But I feel like no matter what, Padley needs to shut that gap down and, you know, get work into the body from the off, try and back Shakur up against the ropes. It's a difficult ask, but always just try and be in his face. But again, no, he might be hesitant of walking into shots. That is the thing, because we know how sharp Shakur Stevenson is with his counters. He's very sharp with his counters. So that that is the thing which is going to be a struggle for Padley. But let's see how he does in this fight, though. Let's see how he does. But overall, I think Shakur Stevenson's jab's going to be too quick for Padley. But I think you never know. If Padley can try and get an early storm going early on, then it could be interesting. It could be interesting for Padley if he can, try and get to Shakur and hurt him early on. He probably won't end up winning, but just being able to do that, he's putting up a good account for himself in that manner. So I think that'd be good. I just want to see Padley try and take a few rounds by, standing his ground nicely. And I do think that is what Padley does. I mean, again, Mark Chamberlain fight, Josh Padley was standing his ground really well in that fight and ended up being able to get some pretty big shots through. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. But anyway, let's wait and see what happens on Saturday.